Welcome to an all-new Lay It Omni. Allow me to lay it on you. You ever be sitting back in your car and Toxic, aka Britney Spears' best song comes on and you're like, man, where did Britney Spears go? Probably not most of you, okay? But not this guy. I really like Britney Spears and I really like that Toxic song. I also really like Work Bitch. Both of those songs like really get my blood pumping. In fact, if you don't like those songs, I think you smell like feet. Anyway, there's a really strange and sad answer behind the question, where did Britney Spears go? But before I go any further into that, let's talk about what happened this morning with Britney. It's pretty big news. Apparently, Britney has lost a court bid to remove her father's control over her estate, okay? If you weren't aware, Britney's father, Jamie Spears, has been the conservator of her estate for the past 12 years. This is mainly due to concerns relating back to her mental health. Now, I'm not sure if you guys were alive to remember this, but a while back, Britney was doing questionable things that consisted of like shaving her own hair and at times putting herself and her own kids in danger. Over a decade ago, she wasn't in a good place and everybody was very worried about her. Anyway, let me just rewind again in case you didn't know. A conservatorship is when a guardian or a protector is appointed by an actual judge to manage the financial affairs or daily life of another due to physical or mental limitations, including old age. It's essentially like the same relationship as an adult with a child, except that person doesn't have to be a child to be their legal guardian. Britney Spears is 38. However, she is still being treated like a child due to the conservatorship with her father. At one point, Britney's lawyer has said that she was afraid of her father and that she would not perform ever again as long as her father continues to be her conservator. However, the court case that happened wasn't complete bad news for Britney. The judge did say that she would consider future appeals for her father's removal of the role. On top of this, Britney was allowed to appoint a co-conservator by the name of Bessemer Trust, which is a financial company. Now, I'll tell you right now, okay, I had no idea that a company could act as someone's legal guardian. That's kind of strange when you think about it, but I guess it's a thing. I mean, I didn't know, but I guess it's a thing. Bessemer Trust, by the way, guys, if you don't know, is a trust fund company. And those kind of trusts, they basically are established to manage a person or, a family's assets in a way that basically minimizes taxes and grants other benefits. In layman's terms, and this probably doesn't apply to any of us, unfortunately, but you might have too much money and you might need a company that knows how to run money to run your financials and assets in a way that's more strategic. Now, the reason why all of this is blowing up is because Britney Spears is, she's Britney Spears. Although she hasn't been incredibly active in the music industry as of recently, she still has millions of diehard stans who have been advocating this hashtag Free Britney campaign, and she's basically a living legend. This campaign basically suggests that Britney is currently trapped into this conservatorship against her own will, which is true, but also that she is essentially in quote-unquote prison and has no power to escape. Britney, on the other hand, hasn't suggested this to be the case and rather has been saying that she's been, okay, and she continues to be doing okay. Her Instagram and her social media shows that she appears to be happy and healthy. However, personally, I'm a bit skeptical of it all since I imagine Britney can't even post on social media without her father's approval of its contents. So of course, if something bad was happening and she wanted to speak out against it in her social media, it wouldn't get approved by her father and she couldn't communicate that. So it's kind of hard to look at her social media and be like, oh yeah, she says she's doing fine. It looks like she's doing fine, so she must be doing fine. But guys, that's basically what happened with Britney in the news. And here's my thoughts on the whole ordeal. I think earlier, like 10 years ago, that the conservatorship was essential for helping Britney to not self-implode. It was basically clear that she was going through something mentally and needed help from self-sabotaging. Sometimes not all of us can handle the mental strain that goes through in our heads. So I really feel like the idea of a conservatorship was a good idea and needed to help Britney become stable back then. However, this was 12 years ago. Britney is probably a completely new and different person. My question is, how long does her father need to be her conservator? If you think about it, the entire idea was to protect her and allow her to get the help that she needs. Now that she has been protected and has received the help she needs, I feel as if she should be able to have a chance to regain her life. After all, it is her life. So I researched further, okay, to find out why this conservatorship doesn't appear to have some kind of time limit, and the truth is that it does. For whatever reason, it just keeps getting extended over and over, which leads me to believe that perhaps Britney still isn't doing very well mentally even after all this time. Last year in October, there was a hearing where Britney's own attorney suggested that she was similar to a comatose patient when the judge asked if she could sign a statement that says that she can do what she wants. Essentially, her own lawyers don't feel that Britney has the mental capacity to be allowed to sign a document. So guys, on one hand, I feel like there should be an opportunity for Britney to break free from the conservatorship if she chooses, if that's what she wants. Even if she isn't 100%, I feel as if there needs to be some kind of probation period or maybe a trial period where she can attempt to be on her own or I don't know, some kind of testing that shows that she is capable of being independent. Now, I don't know the full details of her conservatorship at that level, so there might be a chance that these things do exist. However, I have haven't seen anything of the sort. In my opinion, it's not as straightforward as demonizing anyone who supports the conservatorship and suggesting that the only answer is for Britney to be free of it. The worst case scenario could be that Britney does break free and gets her freedom, but soon after inflicts harm onto herself, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Another terrible scenario is that Britney is mentally doing okay and she can take care of herself, but the people around her want to control her money and finances and assets for their own selfish reasons and desires. In fact, guys, both of these scenarios could be in place at the same time, which is why this is such a tricky situation that I don't think has a clear answer. It kind of reminds me of Kanye West, okay? If you didn't know, Kanye West is bipolar, and during his episodes, he tends to get a bit, quote-unquote, free-spirited on Twitter, doing things like leaking illegal documents or showing private conversations. Nobody knows what could happen when Kanye goes through one of these episodes, and I can imagine that this can be very scary for everyone involved, including Kanye. Now, being bipolar doesn't mean you have to have a legal guardian with you. However, my dad is bipolar, and he has done things in the past that caused himself self-harm. The danger in these kind of situations are real, and depending on person to person, some people may in fact be protected if they do in fact have someone being their legal guardian. But in the case with Britney, it's hard to say. I just hope that her and her family continue to do what's best for her, and I hope that she's capable of living her best life. After all, what's a life if you can't live it? My gripe is this, guys, okay? It's very clear that Britney doesn't want to be in the conservatorship with her father. So to me, the most common sense answer would be to switch that legal guardian to someone else who is also capable. In this case, however, it appears to be a financial company, and I gotta say, something about this smells really fishy. You've got lawyers talking on her behalf who could benefit from pushing her out of a conservatorship with her father so that the trust can have more financial pull over Britney's money. And at the end of the day, the co-conservatorship could push Britney even further from having her own freedom if both parties don't have Britney's self-interest at heart. Personally, I would never trust a company to have my interest at heart, even if it is a trust company. Which means, guys, that there could be a possibility that this entire situation is about people in her life just trying to take advantage of her assets and her money, because she has a lot of it, and I'm sure a lot of people want a piece of that pie. Anyway, that's all I have for this episode of Late. You've just been late. Moral of the story, mental health issues is a bitch, and I hope Britney isn't being taken advantage of. I feel like it would be very easy to take advantage of her, and I can only hope that there are genuine people around her in her life that have her best interests at mind and truly love her, I can't be the judge of that, and I won't be the judge of that. However, if Britney does decide to continue to appeal the conservatorship decision with her father, this could mean we'll be seeing more of her in the future. Personally, I do want to see her perform, okay? Britney is an artist. She's a singer. It's one of her callings in life, and probably is the way that she best expresses herself. Removing that outlet is like literally removing one's ability to express themselves. No matter what happens going forward, I truly feel like if Britney wants to make music and express herself, at the very least, that choice should never be taken away from her. And guys, I can't help but think about etiquette when it comes to mental health issues, relating to Britney and Kanye the more I looked into this. It's been over a year since he's been gone, and I always wonder what would have happened, what would have been best for him during that time, and I don't know the answer, but I do know that the entire situation reinforced the importance of mental health, which sometimes I feel like even until this day is still overlooked and joked about. Guys, I miss that guy dearly, and I hope that others with mental health issues get the help that they need and deserve to deal with just this terrible curse that just begets some people. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of the situation in the comments below, okay? It's a tricky one, and it's a bit of an emotional one. A lot of her fans are thinking emotionally and are very passionate about the situation, and rightfully so. But I do think it's important to also weigh the potential risk and consequences and try to understand what would be best for Britney's future, given we just don't know the full details of what's happening. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Do me a favor, drop a like if you've made it this far into the video. It lets me know that you made it and I did all right. And subscribe if you haven't already, okay? I'm sick as a dog, but I'm gonna keep pumping out content for you guys. So look, don't miss a video or I'll bite you in the butt cheeks, okay? That's kind of nasty. Anyway, y'all take it easy, drink your water, stay hydrated, and have yourself a good one.